Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the West Ham World YouTube channel. We are going to go live this morning just to have a little discussion about the game and some of the things that have gone on since the last time I've done a video. Hopefully a few of you will jump on and jump in the comments and get the conversation started. It's West Ham Chelsea tonight. I don't think any of us have any confidence at all after watching, a few of the channels that I love. Most of them say the only chance that West Ham would get the win tonight is if we do a typical West Ham and pull off a 1-0 absolute backs to the wall, go against the run of play and have every single bit of luck go for us. I don't see any other way of West Ham hurting Chelsea. I really don't. We're on the floor at the minute as a fan base. We're feeling very low. The fact that a player has left in Alvarez on loan and no one has come in after that Sunderland performance when we've had no midfield and midfield has always been a problem. You had Karen going on TalkSport the other day saying that you can clearly see that the lack of pace in midfield is what is killing us at the moment. The fact that no one has come in, the fact that no one looks close, and we've weakened again. Like I say, Kudus has gone. Alvarez has now gone. What is happening? What is happening at our football club? Whether you liked Alvarez or not, because I've seen a few comments where they say, I think he's overrated. Look at that. Surely you consider him better than Rodriguez, and surely you consider him better than even like a Ward-Prowse, in terms of he's actually technical, can get his foot in. I don't know. And then, like the comment just said there, that I say, please, comments, keep them coming all morning. Potts, Souček and Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez, please, tonight. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see, mate. If I was picking Potts, Souček for the goal threat and just a bit of a nuisance and would provide some actual aerial threat, because we were so poor at that the other day. It was something like we only won 1 of 10 aerial duels, which just shows the weakness in the air for the defenders, really, and it's a place to target. And obviously Paquetá, some people calling him to be dropped. I understand that as well, because he was poor, but you're only going to be poor when you haven't got any runners in front of you. We don't have runners. They don't push on. They pass the ball, they sit and admire it. I daren't run forward in case I get caught out and be the one that makes the mistake. So it's hard for someone like Paquetá to look good. So he has to still start for me. I'm hoping Callum Marshall is on the bench. Obviously he was suspended and he had that slight injury against Lille, or he was ill, wasn't he, against Lille? I'm hoping he's on the bench to provide some sort of option, because listen, if the game is we're 3-0 down, you may as well bring him on and let him play with no pressure. If we're 1-0 down and we need a goal, you bring him on. If we're winning 1-0, maybe you don't bring him on. But it's more than likely that you're going to be, or we're going to be as West Ham, we're going to be quite heavily down, I think, early. If we concede within the first 10 minutes and it's a bit of a howler from either defensively or Hermansen not looking like T-Rex arms again, the place could turn toxic very, very quickly. I think the West Ham fans, we don't need much, do we, to get us rallied up. And, if it is exactly the same lineup, straight away we're going to be on the, we're going to be annoyed, because it's going to be, oh, for God's sake, Rodriguez in again. We're going to probably play exactly the same way. Slow, no pressing. We won't be getting in their face early. And like I say, if we were to go 1 down and it's 2 down, 3 down, it could be really, really bad night tonight. It really could. I just don't see how we win this game. I don't. Chelsea wasn't great. 19 shots against Palace. We're lacking clinicalness. That don't mean anything. It doesn't, because West Ham, the next game, all of a sudden everything you hit turns to gold and you end up winning 4-5-0. They've got too many players that can hurt us in key positions. Neto against Juve. You got Gittins. He could be in for a tough night against Wan-Bissaka. I don't like Kilman. He doesn't. I don't think he provides anything. To be honest with you, he can look pretty once in a match coming out with a ball. But I agree with a few people that say Mavropanos should start again purely to add some aerial threat and some aerial defence as well. Like if you've got Souček and Mavropanos in, at least they're winning some balls in the air. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a weakness for us at the minute. What we got here? Luke, we may start with 3 keepers. Could do, couldn't you? Could do. Must be a record how many midfielders we have been linked with. Frustrated ears, mate. It's a joke. We are a joke. And the fact that, the Fernandes deal, we upped it by 2 million. Listen, I think it's quite pricey anyway. Anything sort of above 35 for him, you're heading towards a sort of, you want someone who's going to be outstanding to come in. Not that I'm saying he's a bad player, not at all. He is a really good player, but for West Ham, he's still a bit of a project player, Fernandes. There's no instant guarantee that he's going to have a massive impact. And that's what we need. We need 2 players, maybe 3, some channels are saying, that are going to, make a massive impact in our team, that are going to give us some physicality, give us some presence in the pitch, some winners as well. We need to buy winners. And I genuinely believe that when I'm talking to you at the end of this window, it would not surprise me that the only 2 players we've bought in is Josh Brownhill and Raheem Sterling on loan, or one up, either or. I have fears that Paquetá will get sold in the last week of the window. I really do. And then we really are really in trouble. Really in trouble. Because it's a lack of quality. And I love Potsy. I think Earthy's a really good player. But they're young kids. You can't fully rely on them all year. The way you develop kids is, you get them in, you feed it, you get them in around good players. They learn their trade. They make their mistakes. You can't go and put George Earthy, Popsy, and Walt Prowse in midfield together. It just won't work. I don't know. The Onyedika rumours have come back again. He hasn't gone away really all summer, has he? You got the Maku, and then you got the ridiculous thing about the tweet that came out of what midfielders do you want? Really? It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I don't know whether any of you guys have watched the video. I can't remember the channel that made it. It wasn't one of the West Ham channels. It was like an independent channel. I'll put it in the link below. It was about a 45-minute video, but it's a fantastic video about everything that has happened at West Ham since Sullivan and Gold have took over. And, the lack of funds, the lack of interest, and how much money we could actually spend if they were to put their own money in. And, reflection to people like Newcastle and Villa, teams like that, where we could, be matching them for wages and spend like that. And they were saying the only reason our net spend looks so high compared, when people throw that, but their net spend is so high, is because our sales are so bad. Felipe Anderson, Payet, Skamaka, Haller for half the price. And that's why our net spend looks bigger, because our net sales are so bad. Anyway, we will have a low block and look for one bit of magic from Bowen or Paquetá. Or Paquetá, mate. But, it'll be looking for a bit of magic. We lost 3-0 last year. I can't see much less than that, to be honest. Like at least 3, I think, tonight. And as well, sorry, just before I go back into the comments, if he doesn't win tonight, I do believe he becomes officially the worst West Ham manager in terms of Premier League. Lopetegui won 6 in 2012, 20 or 21, whatever it is. Potter is on 5 in 20. So tonight, if that loss happens, listen, Lopetegui win. Would you be surprised? I don't think he would go. I don't think Sullivan's got the nous or like would pay him off, even though it's not going to be a massive payoff because he has got that break clause at the end of the season and it's only a year left, so it's not a massive payout. But yeah, what reason would you keep him? You know, like the record is just as bad as Lopetegui. What we got? Karen is the one to blame, thinking she is qualified to pick football managers. Yeah, we could have probably gone and got a Glasner from Palace. He'll be frustrated as well. Someone like Oliver Glasner, you know, looks like obviously Eze's gone. At least he went the year before, and I do believe their chairman Parish come out and said something like, you know, we're going to have to sell Mark Gahey because no one leaves for free. So he could be gone as well after, you know, a brilliant season where they won the FA Cup. They won the Charity Shield as well. And, you know, probably will go on and hopefully do what we did and win the Conference League. You know, if West Ham had better owners, we could probably go and get him out of there. And he's a bloody good manager. But would you, as Oliver Glasner, come to West Ham and think, I ain't going to get back to you. This is a poison chalice of a job. My career now, I can go on and maybe go and get, I don't know, where would you, with respect to Palace, I'm trying to be respectful to Palace here. You know, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a job. Let's say Maresca or someone like that got fired or someone like that around that. You wouldn't be surprised. Or, you know, a job on the continent. He's a good manager. Again, West Ham would never buy him out of his contract though. Potter will say no to Brian Hill and Sterling, but how can we trust what Sullivan will do? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, mate, I'm saying that Potter probably would say no to them, but don't be surprised if they end up there. We had to give him someone, and then they end up there, players that are not really wanted. We don't play wingers anyway, so where would Sterling play? Yeah, I don't want them to. I don't. HTIC, I think, was the video. That's the one, mate. That's the one. It's a great video. Please go check it out. What happened to Kilman? He was so highly thought of at Wolves. He was, mate. He was. And obviously Moisey wanted him as well. We was linked with him for such a long time. We massively overpaid for him. 40 million is a massive overpayment. He's just not that good. I sat on here all the time. He reminds me of Matthew Upson, who was a coward. And that's the same vibes I get. Now Alvarez has left. The best thing to do now is just to but Potter what he needs. Give Potter what he needs. It's more expensive than what it would have been if we had hired the right manager. I agree, mate. After Lopetegui, but less expensive, getting relegated. The right thing to do after Lopetegui was to hire a 4-2-3-1 manager. They naturally have got the best out of that squad. Yeah, but, mate, we haven't got a director of football. We haven't got people with vision at this club. It's just a vicious circle roundabout of like, and this is how it plays out for me. And I think a couple of channels have touched on it, but I think I agree. Potter will be gone by October, November, maybe maximum Christmas. If this continues, Sean Dyche will come in, probably save us, keep us up. We'll be stabilised for the season after that, 26-27 season. Then we'll want good football again when it just don't quite work out with players. Then we'll go and get a manager that's out of work and it won't work. And then we'll have to go and get another firefighter, probably bring Moyes back. And it's just a vicious loop. And that's what happens when you go cheap with managers. No identification of managers. not willing to pay managers out of their contracts. That video, the HITC video, goes into that about West Ham. Could have gone and got like an Iriola, Marco Silva, but we will never pay. We'll never buy a manager, which is just ridiculous on its own, isn't it? The most important man at a football club is the manager, their philosophy, their instinct. And again, you go and get the right manager who can manage and actually work with what they've got. It's a lot cheaper than keep bringing in new managers who are free that need a complete revamp of, oh, I need this midfield or it doesn't work, or I need this or it doesn't work. You need someone who can actually coach a team and get the best, like literally blood out of a stone from their players. As Zico said, Upson a coward. Can't disagree with you there, mate, 100%. He needs two top centre midfielders, a centre forward and a left-sided attacking player. The two centre mids, if West Ham do not sign a decent two, yeah, I'm saying two, I'm not even saying one anymore, two centre midfielders, honestly, we may as well wave the white flag. We may as well. And I know it's rage baity and it's one game in, but we've seen it before. This is not us speaking from, blind and blinkered and overreacting. We've seen it before. We've seen how seasons start when we're going to struggle, or God forbid, when we're going to get relegated. We've seen it. We've seen it so many times. And you can't sit still in the Premier League. You can't. The midfield is so key. It's so key. And you can't gamble with it anymore. You can't gamble with this just survive, that'll be okay, just about scrape it. Because if you go down there, it is bloody hard. It is a bloody hard league. We'll have a ridiculously, what can I even call it, a bowl with about 35,000 in there. Don't get me wrong, the fan base will come back and it'll be brilliant and all that stuff will be good about West Ham. But we'll be the team that everyone wants to beat. We'll lose Bowen. And then it's a massive, massive rebuild. And it will just... And with them, do you really trust them? Do you really trust them to rebuild West Ham? Good God, no. It would be horrendous to go down. Not that I love being stuck in this purgatory of just surviving, no ambition. But trust me, it can be a lot worse if you go down. It could be a hell of a lot worse, and we could be stuck down there for a very long time. Where are we? Rhonda says, I think Potter will see the season out and we'll finish the same as last season. As long as the kids get many games, I can live with that. As long as we don't go down, mate. Potter's taken this side in a total wrong direction. Yep, mate, he's not modern in thinking. That style of play was I'll give him maybe 4 years ago. But now you've got to press. You've got to be fast and powerful and quick. Players in the midfield that can take it on the half turn and look up and ping. Our CDM, whether it's any of them, is not Rodri, or Busquets, who can receive it, fizz it into his feet on the half turn, finding the wingers or finding the striker. We're not that. We need to get to basics, get the ball upfield as quick as possible, press teams, put ourselves on them. I've never been fully convinced by Alvarez. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but the fact he's off to Turkey tells me a fair need to know. That's fair enough, mate. It's a fair enough point. It is a fair enough point. It's a valid point as well, mate. Right, I'm going to be 2 seconds, guys. I've just got to quickly pop off. I'll be 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, guys, that's just a parcel being delivered. And I know my wife would go crazy if I missed it. Where were we? Where were we? Oh, yeah, about Alvarez. Yeah, mate, a few channels have said it, that we're not fully convinced with Alvarez, and the fact that only, Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, whatever it was, came in for him. I know some Serie A clubs come in for him as well. But yeah, the fact that no Premier League teams had a look at him and no proper bids coming for him, maybe, mate, maybe. Where are we? Sullivan won't let any manager put his stamp on the club. He's meddling. He's taking a stand. It will do, mate, if it carries on. Tanti problem is the squad isn't as good as this season. Man United and Spurs, who we finished above, are much better, and so are the newly promoted teams. He needs legs around him. Now we've lost Alvarez, I'm not sure the best idea isn't just to back Potter. Problem is, if we back Potter now, which really we've got no choice, because we've only got a week left of the transfer window, new manager, it ain't going to happen. We back him, and this carries on till the Everton game, and we don't get a point on the board, and then you're 7 games in, and we lose to Everton. What then? Yep, but Brentford and Burnley and Leeds will have bad seasons, I hope. It's no guarantee, mate. I'm not fully convinced with Wolves either. I'll be honest with you. I think Wolves could be down there with us. I would just back Potter at this stage. And I'm one of the most vocal people in the world. What's that say? And how I don't think he's done well. That's fair enough. What's your predictions for tonight then, guys? What do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen? I think we're going to start extremely slow. I think it will be exactly the same lineup. I think we'll be 1-0 down within 12 to 15 minutes. It will turn really, really toxic. I think by half-time we'll be 2-0 down. And then we might come out of the blocks a little bit and have a couple of little spells. We may get one. And then I think we'll end up losing like 3-1 if you have to put a gun to my head. And that's really sad. It's really, really sad. The Wolves games are quite a big game as well now, that cup game, because it's a bit of pressure off. It's a cup game and we all like to get through the cups. And Wolves are really bad as well. Wolves are not that great. They've sold some big players and not done any massive replacements yet. So that's quite a big game on Tuesday. Hammers 1, Chelsea 7. Good God, can you imagine what that place will be like if that was the case tonight? But who knows? A lot was made of him being player of the tournament and winning the Gold Cup with Mexico. They beat Saudi, USA and Honduras. That's an easier run than we had in the Conference League. USA ain't bad, but yeah, Saudi and Honduras ain't great. If Maresca coaches well, could be 4-5s just camping out half. Could be, mate. Could be. Chelsea will probably let us have the ball at the start, maybe, just to see what happens, see where players move, work us out a little bit. They won't wait as long as Sunderland. It won't be, we'll give West Ham the ball for the half. They might give us the ball for 10 minutes. They'll see that we're absolutely toothless and can't do anything and don't know how to attack down the middle and are very always attacking down the right-hand side. They'll start to notice the gaps in between the fullbacks with Neto and Gittins or whoever they start. I'll tell you one thing I reckon will happen tonight. 2 players will get their first Premier League goals for their club. That will be João Pedro, and if he's on the bench or if he starts, Liam Delap will also get his first goal. There you go. I might even go and put that on tonight. Both of them to get a goal tonight somewhere in the game. It just always happens, doesn't it? People always get their first goal against West Ham. People get their 100th goal against West Ham. People get their first goal in 200 years against West Ham. It's just always been the case. Always been the case with West Ham. First ever hat-trick. First ever goal with their left foot. First goal in 400 minutes of never ever scoring a goal. It's just West Ham. It always happens, doesn't it? That they get their first goals against us. I don't think there's much else to talk about, really, guys. Enjoy the game as much as you can tonight. I just can't see anything. I've got nothing, no optimism at all for tonight. And I know when that lineup comes out, it's just going to kill me as well. It's just going to be the same crap, same slow, laboured play. I'm going to come on here probably tomorrow morning, give you my review, and I'll just be going, what's going on? What's going on? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for all that's joined me live. Check your subscribe before you leave. If you're watching this back as a replay, I love all your comments recently. It's been fantastic. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.